Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, and welcome to the Cade Museum, the beautiful venue of our Tuesday meeting. And thank you for fighting the back-to-school traffic to get here. We are so happy to be here today and to ask you to turn off your cell phones or put them on silent or leave them in the car. Also, you on Zoom, you know what to do. You know to sign in to info@rotarygainesville.org and register your attendance with us. Now, we are going to have a new group, a new trio. Brendan, Eric, and we're going to join together in singing God Bless America.
Wait for the professional talent to show up. Thank you, Eric.
Where's Gordon? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
We going up?
God bless America, my home, sweet home. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Thank you. Now, Kevin Thorpe.
We're especially honored to have our guests with us, these young people. I grew up in a very strict home, and in middle school, I missed the school bus, and I had to wake my dad up to give me a ride. And while he was getting dressed, he decided to give me a lecture. He said that when Abraham Lincoln was my age, he walked miles to school every morning without complaining. I responded, when Abraham Lincoln was your age, he was president. So, one of us is behind and has a lot of catching up to do. It was about a week later when I woke up after that. May we pray. Father, we are thankful for this day and for all that it means. We thank you for these young people. We thank you for their parents, their educators, their administrators, those who inspire them to greatness. May they never settle for anything less. It is for your sake and for your glory we pray. Amen.
Now, be seated, everybody. With a guest, please remain standing and introduce your guests.
Okay, any guests? Who wants to do the introductions? Lee, do you want to do it?
Hello, I am Leanne Brewster. I am a high school engineering teacher at PK Yonge, and I also coach this wonderful team, and I have one of my alumni here as well. I'll let them introduce themselves if that's okay.
Hello, my name is Maylene Yeager. I'm a senior and a participant of the Roaring Riptide Robotics Club.
Hello, my name is Joseph Santiago. I'm an alumni of the high school robotics team, and now I'm a freshman at Santa Fe College majoring in mechanical engineering.
Hi, my name is Bryce Rivera, and I'm currently a senior and a fourth-year engineering student in PK Yonge, and I'm also the president of the Roaring Riptide Robotics team.
Hi, my name is Mariah Singer. I'm a senior at PKY, and I'm a new addition to the PKY Robotics team.
Hello, my name is Luke Singer. We share a last name. Yeah, and this is my second year on the robotics team, and I'm grateful to be on this team this year.
Anybody else? Raise your hand or make some kind of very distracting gesture. All right, that's it.
I believe we have an announcement from Eric about an upcoming fellowship.
We have a fun and fellowship the first of the fall. Randy mentioned the traffic, but I thought the other day, how can we put a positive spin on that? Yes, my wife and I tried to go to Target the other day, and yes, all the UF freshmen were there, and it was miserable. But think about this. We live in a town that's perpetually young, perpetually learning. Isn't that cool? So we're going to celebrate that with some fun and fellowship this Thursday at the Hyatt, the new hotel right down there on downtown on Main Street, from, I wrote this note, I should know, 5:30 to 6:30. So please join us. And then, you coming back up, Randy, or am I introducing Jenna? I'm introducing Jenna. So our president, our fearless leader, is not here today. So our next least fearless leader, Jenna Ostis, is going to be his surrogate today. Jenna.
Hi, everybody. I am happy to be standing in for John, who is out traveling for work, and I am really excited to announce today's program. We are excited to have PK Yonge's Roaring Riptide, the high school robotics team competing in the first robotics competition. Their primary initiative is to develop assistive technology solutions that enhance the quality of life and promote independence for individuals in our community. We have a few students here today to share more with us. And without further ado, we'll welcome up a couple of their students to teach us a few things.
Hello, everyone. I have to shorten out a little bit. Okay. Just like I said, my name is Joseph. I'm currently a freshman at Santa Fe College, majoring in mechanical engineering. And then this is Brycelyn, as well as Mei Ling. And we're going to be presenting to you today about our assistive technology initiative on Roaring Riptide's robotics team. Oh, just for background, assistive technology, before we start, is any device or solution that improves the quality of life for an individual with a disability. And most of the time, the devices can be used by anyone. It doesn't have to be someone with a disability.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Brycelyn, and it's good to be here. So one of the first things that I want to kind of address is, why are a bunch of high school kids doing this, taking time out of their day, hanging out with their friends to work on assistive technology? Well, I'm going to kind of make this a little bit interactive. I'm going to ask you all a question. Just by a show of hands, how many of you loved to play with toys when you were little? Okay. How many of you had an absolute favorite toy when you were little? Okay. But how many of you feel like those toys shaped who you are and your personality today? What you liked, kind of what your interests were, and growing up, they were important to you. Pretty important, right? So now I want you to imagine a different scenario in your head. Imagine you're a kid, and maybe it's the holidays, maybe it's your birthday, but you have a shiny new toy sitting right in front of you, but you can't open it. Someone else opens it for you. Now what? Now it's sitting on the table in front of you, and you can't do anything with it. This is where our team is seeking to change the world with what we're doing today in robotics. So instead of pushing a small button, let's say on this lion's paw, right here, you can see it's pretty small. Might be really hard to see from where you're sitting. It's a lion, right? It roars. It's really funny. But imagine you don't have the motor skills to play with that toy. You can't push the toy like you or I can. And thus, many kids can't play with toys like you or I can. In fact, this year, over 73% of kids we have requests from for adapted toys have never had an adapted toy in their life before. And this is what we do to help change that. So using what we know, we make accessible button switches. So from now, when you push the button, which sees a larger surface area, even has holes on the back where you need to mount it to a children's wheelchair, a surface where now they can push it and the toy will activate. And personally for me, and I'm sure I can speak on behalf of everyone here, this is why we do this, to see the light in the kids' eyes. And every single year, we hold something called a toy adapt-a-thon, where our team comes together en masse and we mass adapt toys for children with different abilities. This year, we went from 45 requests last year to 135 requests this year. Every single one being met and fulfilled. So that's 135 kids, all with toys they can play with, completely free of charge.
Alongside with adapting toys, we also do personalized projects for people in our community. So we work with like the Shands UF Hospital to make sure that we can personalize projects. So we've done around 38 personalized projects so far, and we're currently working on some more. Maybe you guys want to share a little bit about that. But here's a couple just for you guys to get an idea of what they look like. So on the far corner over there, we have our Century shoe soles. So these are just simply printed out of a material called TPU, which is a soft, flexible 3D printer material. And what they do is that they help change people who want to walk on their tiptoes into walking flat-footed. And what this solution does is it makes it much cheaper to afford these types of help aids for people with these issues. So in the middle there, we have a utensil stabilizer. Now, this was actually quite personal to our team, where we developed a assistive technology solution for our coach's father. He had tremors while he was eating, so to help him attain some more autonomy, we have a bearing within the utensil that follows the shaking motions. So that way he can eat on his own and retain more of the things that he could do on his own. And on the other side, we have a sensory phone case. So this was a request done for a boy named Rex. He had autism, and some of his sensory needs was that he would nibble at his phone case. And of course, this wasn't good for his teeth, nor was it good for the phone. So one of our students modeled a 3D printed phone case that enveloped the surface, and it made sure when he nibbled, it wouldn't injure his teeth, since this is a plastic filament, and then it wouldn't break the phone as well. And finally, we have a walker drink attachment. So this was a request taken actually at the Oaks Mall, and what it did was that it would have a drink attached to a walker, and it was for a woman named Heidi. So that way, when she did her morning walks around Oak Mall, she could have her drink with her. And these are just a couple of the solutions that we've been working on over the past few years. Continuing on.
So initially, before we started on personalized solutions and toy adapt-a-thons, we started to become a chapter as Makers Making Change. Makers Making Change is a nonprofit based out of Canada that provides open source AT solutions. Open source meaning it's readily available for anyone who needs to use it. And what this means is Makers Making Change has a website, so if anyone requests any solutions from the website, we can fulfill that request with the 3D printers we have at PK Yonge to be able to help anyone in need. So for example, water bottle holders or openers, signature guides, toothpaste squeezers, and additional solutions are available on the website.
Gotta adjust the microphone back. So why did we start this whole initiative? We actually started an initiative back in late 2019 called FIRST, which is the global nonprofit we're a part of, FIRST with Assistive Technology, to get other FIRST teams, people in our community, anyone who really wants to get excited about AT, that's where our initiative came from. So what if you're thinking, hey, I want to do this, I have someone I know, but I don't know where to start. Where do you even start making assistive technology from, right? So this is where our sub-initiative, Tidal Wave of Assistive Technology comes in, where our team provides and makes complete kits of things like the big button switches, we have the small ripple switches in case you want a smaller switch, but we put all of the components into these kits and deliver them again free of charge to anyone who wants to order them. And in fact, 2 years ago, the first World Championship, we delivered these kits to 312 different teams from across the world from 13 different countries. And so again, we love doing this just to, raise awareness, get people excited for assistive technology, because in the end, it's all about people being able to give back to their own communities and make a wave of change in their lives.
And alongside with that initiative, we have a new budding initiative called our AT Loan Library. So we're very excited about this. We started it recently. And when you think of a library, you go in and you browse books. So this is a similar idea where you go in, or people from our community go in and they browse our AT solutions. So we have our low-tech solutions that are just 3D printed, and then we also have our high-tech solutions and our toys, and they can go in and view them and try them out. They can take them home. They can ask for changes to be made on it to fit their needs better, and we would make sure that we fulfill these requests. It's kind of just like being able to see and use the tools while you're there and just being able to kind of explore new things that are offered to them. So it's more like it helps with make things more attainable.
And our goal is to hard launch it now in the fall. So we're continuing to develop it. So now in the fall, we'll be planning out the launch of it. And so ultimately, here are our programs. So we talked about our Tidal Wave of AT initiative, which is where we give AT kits to anyone in need. Then we have our First Way AT request. So that's like personalized solutions where anyone can request a challenge that they may have, and we'll try our best to solve that challenge, working as a team, and then working with mentors that we have at UF, at different other companies in Alachua, and so on. And we'll also research as much as we can. Then we have our AT Loan Library request form, which is anywhere anyone can request any solution that we have available, and they can keep it free of charge for them to use. And ultimately, these are AT partnerships as well. So Makers Making Change, UF Shands Rehab Clinic at Magnolia Park, Accio AI, and the University of St. Augustine. Thank you so much for hearing our presentation. And if you have any questions, let us know. If any of you have any questions, feel free to ask and we'll answer them to the best of it. Yes. Oh, yes.
Eric.
So that was all very impressive, way beyond what I expected. I thought you were going to have like just robots with gears and things like that. How did you even come up with these ideas? And what does the robotics mean? Because that, to me, that didn't seem like robotics. That seemed like just ingenuity and solving problems through creativity and engineering.
So you bring up a really good point with that. How do we develop these types of solutions? And something that I personally took from my coach, Miss Brewster, and that's part of like the first organization saying, the kids don't build the robots build the kids. It's not about building robots and winning competitions. It's using those real skills to make a difference in the world, right? So we actually use something called an engineering design process, which we all learned in Miss Brewster's engineering pathway, where you start by defining the problem. What on earth do I need to make for this person? What are they requesting? We start brainstorming, concept sketching, even putting it in computer-aided design, CAD software, where you can 3D model and simulate your solution. From there, it's all about being able to take what's in here and bringing it to life through determination and perseverance, and most importantly, your heart.
Susan?
Hi, I'm Susan. I love everything you're doing, inspired. This morning, Dr. Michael Oken from UF, he's maybe someone you crossed paths with, was talking all about the challenges with hand tremors and Parkinson's. And I wondered if you have a connection with that advanced community and your stabilizing utensils.
So we don't yet, especially with that doctor, we don't yet, but we're open to establishing new partnerships and connections to be able to further progress that. So, yeah.
Hi, my name is Helen. My question, are you using 3D printers? You're doing a lot of things. You're using electricity, you're using, so this is out of your everyday learning, right? Tell us more about those skills.
Yeah, absolutely. So from what we learn in robotics, we use that and apply it to what we're doing here. So in robotics, we would start by modeling our robot, right? So that's computer-aided design. So we take those skills like computer-aided design to quickly make these solutions that we've shown you on the screen. So we can test them out. We can rapidly test them with 3D printing. That's where the printers come in. And then we can change them if we see need fit Yes.
To kind of add on to that, to Mei Ling, we learn a lot of technical and transferable skills. For technical, we learn how to use a 3D printer, computer design, so turning 2D sketches into 3D shapes, soldering, prototyping, reverse engineering, and for transferable skills, we learn courses like business, marketing, business plans, 3-year plans, presentations, public speaking, all to kind of like use it to our initiatives and help people.
I'm Robert Mounts, class of 1960, K through 12. Very proud of you, but I have one question. You said you're providing a lot of these things, gadgets, to people for free. How are you raising money to pay for it?
So, like Joseph said, a lot of the skills we learn are not just technical skills, they're business skills. And a lot of us have actually learned how to seek out sponsors, write grants, hold fundraisers of our own. And all of the money we raise for assistive technology, all the students have raised it on their own, right? So this last year, we actually raised over $5,000 just for the Adaptathon alone because of the amount of requests we were getting. And none of us here wanted to shut off the form because we never want to have any kid or any person who wants a solution to not be able to get it, right? And as far as Riptide is going with AT, no, we never want anyone to charge for any device we provide. So to answer your question, everything is fundraised through student working.
And for those doing the math, that makes Bob officially 84 years old.
There's a lifer there at PK, right? So great presentation, and I like the comprehensive nature of what you're talking about in terms of presentation skills, business model, those types of things. Cade Museum, which I'm sure you're aware of, it sounds like there's a lot of carryover there. Is there something that you guys have done with the Cade, or did any of you ever go through any of their programs back in the day?
So we have participated in outreaches at the Cade Museum. So part of doing our assistive technology, we also want to spread excitement with STEM. So we have done the little sparks at the Cade Museum, where we present to children about our robotics and present how they can use STEM in their lives. So we had the big robot over here and they could drive it around. We had little robots as well for the littler ones. And we talked about how they can use their daily skills and interests in STEM to apply to future things as well.
Anybody else questions?
Hi, my name is Scott. You mentioned last year you helped 135 kids with devices. How do you market to kids and parents to let them know that this is the kind of thing you're doing?
So we have a Google form for everything that we do. Part of our marketing was that in this Google form, we create a flyer and we work with the partnerships that we have. So for example, UF Shands at Magnolia Park with their therapists, and that's where we share our message to saying, hey, we have our Adaptathon coming up. Here's the toys that we have available. Here's what you can request. If you have any questions, let us know. And through that form and through that flyer, people reach out and request toys through there. One of the biggest things was that our coach was able to meet someone at the University of Florida who knew the Alachua County Public Schools connection through the therapist there. So our form was able to reach through there, and that's how we got so many of our requests to where we were able to reach a lot of the counties in the state of Florida and upstate to get those requests to the right hands of kids so they can have the toys for their holidays. And that's how we, how we track everything through the Google form, is that we ask as little information as possible for personal information for protection, and we just ask what toys they would like, what buttons and modifications they would like.
Yeah, to add on to like that, what Joseph was saying, because we got in contact with someone who actually works with a lot of the schools within counties across Florida, we were able to get in contact with the direct ESC teachers of these schools. So the biggest problem we were having was actually getting to those teachers, because the kids who needed it most, there were obviously a lot of laws like HIPAA and FERPA were stopping us. And again, we all have great intentions, but we're respecting those laws, right? So because we were able to get in contact with the ESC teachers and a lot of parents specifically, we were able to reach across 9 different counties in Florida And we were actually got requests from states as far north as Ohio and Virginia. So.
Hi, everyone. Lauren Elliott. I work with HCA, the other hospitals in town, and the possibilities after just seeing your presentation that you could help our patients too, I'm overwhelmed. So I can't wait to connect with you after the meeting. I am just so impressed. These are high schoolers? Are these high schoolers? I am floored. What do you guys want to do when you grow up? What careers I'm so curious. What do you want to do with your career path? I'm just personally curious.
So I'll go first. I graduated last year from the robotics team. Now I'm a college freshman and mechanical engineering. Oh, yes. So my plan is to get skills to help people, basically, similar to what we do with AT. Recently, we just founded, myself with the other co-founders who are also alumni of the team. We just co-founded a nonprofit called the Ripple Co., which continues the AT mission into more of like a foundation. So we have the loan library, we're partnering with the robotics team, so we have the loan library, personalized solutions, as well as a resource center. So like how to solder, how to adapt a toy, just resources for anyone to access them at any point. So we just recently finished our website this weekend. So we're ready to launch that. So anything that helps people, any skills. So that's why I chose mechanical engineering for that.
Ever since I was little, I've always wanted a career where I can help people. And for the longest time, I wanted to be a surgeon, a doctor. Until I set foot in engineering my freshman year of high school and realized the possibilities of this, right? So now I want to go into biomedical engineering or electrical engineering. I'm not really sure yet, but either way, I want to become an ATP, an assistive technology professional, so I can design and make my own devices as well as prescribe medicines and anything else that anyone else needs. So that's kind of my dream.
What really stuck with me by being a part of this team is also the want to help people and to do things that are tangible and seen as like solutions that can help multiple people. So what I'm looking forward to after high school would be to going into a bachelor's for civil engineering. I like how buildings stand. I really appreciate that actually. So that's the dream. And then to hopefully get into a little bit of the artsy side with a master's in architecture.
Wow, that's impressive. So you guys sound like Rotarian. If you were not, I would highly recommend you try to check us out because services above self is what we are and is what you guys just described. Well done. My final question is back to funding because I'm a nonprofit and it's a great work. Everything is going to be free, but at the end of the day, it comes down to money. So have you guys considered some sort of a hybrid where some sale could go into people buying it, which go into providing free stuff to those who may in need? So do you have a hybrid model where it's a business at the same time it's a nonprofit?
So hopefully I'll try my best to answer that. So how it works is we have a sponsorship form, a donor form, and part of that is we have sponsor levels. So you give a certain amount to have these certain benefits for the robotics team. What we also do is like, we calculate how much the toy costs or the solution costs, and then we say, if you'd like to donate the materials or the toy, you can totally do that. This is the projected amount for that, and that would cover for someone to receive that toy or personalized solutions. So we project any cost for all the solutions that we do. So just in case, if anyone is interested in doing that, we don't, of course, require them to, but if anyone is interested, they can totally do that. So we have a provided solution for free for the next person.
Questions, anybody? All right, thank you.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. And in recognition of your presentation today, we'll be making a donation to the Rotary Foundation.
Yep.
Our speaker for next week will be Anne Collette, who's going to share how to stay healthy as you age. Our quote for the week is from Bill Gates. Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. And our Rotary Reading Safari drawing today is 413. And with that, we are adjourned.